Today, Governor Mark Sanford said that, quote, the biggest self of self is indeed self. Wise words stand the test of time. He veered from the obtuse to the oddly specific, explaining that he had seen the woman in question, quote, 3 times during that whole sparking thing. But in our #1 story in the countdown, if you think Sanford's news conference was remarkable, how about them emails? Governor's Appalachian Trail, which evidently led all the way to Argentina, merely a flash for good old electronic mail obtained by the state newspaper in Colombia last December. In one, the governor describes his upcoming itinerary to his paramour, Maria, whose full name has been redacted, even though her email had her full name and address on it. But the governor is far more engaged in a different kind of description. Governor Sanford, Thursday, July 10th, 2008, quoting, as I think I had told you, taking the family to China, Tibet, Nepal, India, Thailand, and then back through Hong Kong on whirlwind tour. The following weekend have been asked to speak out in Aspen, Colorado with McCain, which has kicked up the whole VP talk all over again in the press back home. You have a particular grace and calm that I adore. You have a level of sophistication that's so fitting with your beauty. I could digress and say that you have the ability to give magnificent, gentle kisses, or that I love your tan lines, or that I love the curve of your hips, the erotic beauty of you holding yourself, or 2 magnificent parts of yourself in the faded glow of the night's light. But hey, that would be going into sexual details. 3, and finally, all the things above are all too true. At the same time, we are in a hopelessly, or as you put it, impossible, or how about combine and simply say hopelessly impossible situation of love. How in the world has this lightning, misspelled, strike snuck up on us? I am still not quite sure. As I have said to you before, I certainly had a special feeling about you from the first time we met, but these feelings were contained, and I genuinely enjoyed our special friendship and the comparing of all too many personal notes. Lastly, I also suspect I feel a little vulnerable because this is ground I have certainly never covered before. So if you have pearls of wisdom, my God, pearls of wisdom on how we figure all this out, please let me know. That's not what I thought when I first saw that on the paper. In the meantime, please sleep soundly, knowing that despite the best efforts of my head, my heart cries out for you, your voice, your body, the touch of your lips, the touch of your fingertips, and, oh Lord, an even deeper connection to your soul. They didn't write like this to all the delegates at that South American Economic Conference. Now, Maria corresponded as well in an email which may have provoked that lengthy response from the governor. She wrote on July 9th, 2008, quote, you are my love, something hard to believe even for myself, as it's also a kind of impossible love, not only because of distance, but situation. She sounds remarkably like he does in this version. Sometimes you don't choose things, they just happen. I can't redirect my feelings, and I'm very happy with mine towards you. Let's bring in Christian Finnegan, comedian and commentator at large. Christian, good evening.
Hola, Keith.
That's all right. Steady. Last night I had said, look, the Appalachian Trail story happening, that it coincided with Naked Hiking Day, it had better be true, because what on earth could be so bad that that would be a cover story? So now we know what could have been worse than that as a cover story?
Yeah, if one thing is clear, is that this is definitely Mark Sanford's first affair, because no experienced Lothario would have played it this badly. There are junior high kids trying to get to third base that have more of a plan than this guy. You know, you think you can just disappear off the face of the earth for 6 days and no one's going to care or notice? You're governor of South Carolina, not the chairman of the RNC.
Now listen, I have to say, having read these things, on a human level, those of us who are lucky in life, we have had these feelings, or we get them, or we seek them. I don't want to deprecate the feelings here, but, you know, if you want to disappear with the love of your life, if this really is the way you feel, isn't the correct sequence is you resign as governor first, and then you disappear with her into the vast, wild pampas of Argentina, not some other way around, or try to get to keep both the wild world of Argentina and, oh, by the way, governor of South Carolina. This is not the way to do it, correct?
Why, yes, Keith, I do believe that's the way a true gaucho would handle things. It's too late for that, but I think now that these emails are out, I don't think he has any other choice but to run away with this woman, because at least then he becomes sort of like a martyr, a tragic figure. You know, he gave up the presidency for love. And as we all know, Latin chicks love that stuff.
Well, that was the King of England in the 1930s. I mean, it was I can't without Mrs. Simpson, without the support of the woman I love. I mean, you're absolutely right. There actually is a political out for him.
Absolutely.
Provided he leaves the country, though.
It's like a Woody Soon-Yi situation.
They didn't leave the country. No. I saw them a couple of weeks ago. By the way, the fact that Sanford was writing these love letters while he thought he might be considered as the vice presidential nominee, that didn't cross his mind as a potential problem. Like, the vice president is missing. We think he's in Argentina for the 9th time this month.
I love how he slipped that in there. He's like, and then there's this stuff about me maybe being vice president. It's like, dude, she's already into you. Stop working so hard. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I know these dates exactly, but didn't this email correspondence happen right around the time of the John Edwards debacle? I mean, I would have loved to have heard some of the conversations between him and his fellow Republicans. Like, hey, can you believe this John Edwards? Yeah, what a fraud. Drink take.
That's yes. Hey, nothing at all in there about tan lines. What kind of the prose in the emails? Again, deep infatuation. There's gentle kisses and all that. Very nice. Makes for good reading on TV. But also these school kid errors, whirlwind tour, and lightning. That said, it sort of takes the fizz off romance, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, you know, Keith, before I became a third-tier TV humorist, I worked at a lit agency. And this email reminds me of every turgid Bridges of Madison County wannabe that I found in the unsolicited submissions pile. You can almost see him sitting in front of his laptop with a glass of Merlot, like, oh yeah.
Well, there's one more, July 8th. You're not specified. I'll read this and then we gotta go. To me, and I suspect no one else on earth, there is something wonderful about listening to country music playing in the cab, air conditioner running, the hum of a huge diesel engine in the background, the tranquility that comes with being in a virtual wilderness of trees and marsh, the day breaking in vibrant pink coming alive in the morning clouds, and getting to build something with each scoop of dirt. If he doesn't go to Argentina, he can go write Harlequin romances, right?
If only. Oh. You know, I'm going to start wearing a T-shirt, you know, that says, I am a 45-year-old depressed housewife, and I vote.
Christian Finnegan, as always, great thanks.
Thank you, sir.
And have fun with your tan lines. That's Countdown for this, the 2,246th day since the previous president declared mission accomplished in Iraq. I'm Keith Olbermann. Good night and good luck. And now, to discuss how the Sanford story unraveled with the reporter who, like reality, awaited him at the airport in Atlanta, ladies and gentlemen, here is Rachel Maddow. One word, Rachel: emails.
Keith, that's not fair. You saw me writhing in pain on my office floor today trying to decide how we were going to communicate these emails given my squeamishness. Now you're just rubbing it in.
We have the music selected for you if you'd like to use it again.
Even just listening to you read them just about turned me completely inside out. I don't know how I'm going to get through this next hour.
Well, I have that effect on everybody, as you know.
Thank you, Keith, sort of. And thank you at home for staying with us for the next hour.